It was your life goal as a coach. You're the son of a coach. It's now been a couple of years since then. Reflect back for me on what that journey was like to win a championship.
Well, first and foremost, I think we'll be the only ones to ever win a championship during a bubble. So if anyone ever needs the book on how to do that, we got it. I think being able to not only win it, and then we had the first time we have a huge parade on our campus, or Waco, and it's the first time everyone's really out and about with COVID. Just made the parade and the excitement that much better from the standpoint everybody's just all coming out and celebrating together, not only a championship, but being done with COVID.
So to that point, I mean, it was obviously a once-in-a-lifetime experience of.
Well, hopefully you got those a couple times, but yeah.
But to win it in that manner.
Yeah.
So that was different, obviously, the way your group had to stay together, literally had to stay together. But the composition of building a champion is still universal. Mm-hmm. How were you guys able to do it?
Well, I think if you go back the year prior to us winning it all, we were poised to be a number one seed, first time in school's history, had won 23 games in a row, and could have won it that year. The year we win it, then the next year we're 15-0, and we end up having 3 season-ending injuries. So possibly you could have won it that year. And last year we were overall the 9th seed. So we've been, for a 4-year span, knocking at the door. And I think it always starts with you not only have to have talented players, but you have to have a great culture, and you have to have a great upperclassman leadership or player-led team, however you want it. Could be underclassmen. If you don't have those two things, you don't have a chance.
Dive deeper into that DNA of what makes a champion. What are you looking for in championship caliber players?
11 out of the last 12 years, we've had a top 25 offense. To have that, you have to have not only talented, skilled players, but you have to have players that are more selfless, because at the end of the day, isolation basketball is one of the lowest percentage basketball plays, percentages. So you got to have guys that share the ball, play the right way, will fit with your system, whatever that system is, because everyone's systems are different.
Ones and twos, getting upset by these one-bid league teams that are from really small schools. Mm-hmm. Why do you think that's happening more now?
Each and every year, the parity gets greater with the transfer portal. I mean, in the COVID year, you have some schools with 5- and 6-year guys, and that's a big advantage. 24-year-olds usually beat 18-year-olds. So, and then with that also, just look at how basketball has grown in the last 20 years even. There's so many great players across not only the United States, but in the world. So that just makes it where there's a lot of parity. And it's called March Madness for a reason. You know, if there weren't upsets, there'd be no madness.
You mentioned the portal. You've taken and you've giveth, if you will.
Yeah. We like taketh more.
Yes. But, you've been on both sides of it.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on where it is right now and how you can hopefully take advantage of it?
Yeah. Well, I think the biggest thing for most coaches is everyone's anxious to make sure that people don't get a bunch of second-time waivers. And the reason for that is once you know what the rules are, you can adjust to that. And players should have a right to be able to transfer, but once they transfer once, to build out our rosters, we just don't want to have 13 guys in free agency every year. And if you know what they can transfer one time, you can figure out a little bit better what your roster is going to look like.
All right, let's break down this roster. Obviously, a lot went on, left, even prior to Houston.
Thanks. No, I'm sorry.
Who can be this year's go-to guys?
So this year you lose Adam Flagler, L.J. Cryer, Keontae George from the backcourt, but you return a lot in the front line to start with. So Jalen Bridges, Kalen Lohner, Jonathan Chamwa-Chachua, Josh Ojewuwin. That gives you some depth up front to begin with. And then in the backcourt, we've gone to the portal, and Ray J. Dennis is somebody that's had a lot of success at Boise State, Toledo. Great programs, great coaches. He's won there, learned from there. Player of the Year in the MAC. Jaden Nunn, great success, great coaches, great program, VCU. And then a very talented freshman class that that we brought in with Mira Little, Eve Messi, and then Jacoby Walter. And then we had some other returners on the perimeter. D'Antoine Grimes redshirted, Langston Love recovering from a knee injury from his first year, an eye injury from last year. So hopefully he stays healthy for the year. So we got some great pieces. As a coach, love the chemistry and love the possibilities.
You stayed and you won a title. 20 years at Baylor. You had Elite Eights before that. You could have left. Why have you stayed so long at Baylor?
Well, Baylor's a special place, and I know everybody, wherever they're at, usually enjoys where they're at. And with us, that's why we stayed, because of the people, the relationships, and we call it Preparing Champions for Life, spiritual, academic, character formation, as well as athletically. So to be able to pour into your players in all capacities. And me personally, now that I've been here for 21 years, seeing all our past players come back, seeing their kids, that's really rewarding, really exciting for us. That's like the best for our staff.